What is happening, everybody? Justin coming at you with another vlog video. I think this is 4 or 5. I've already lost count after 5. I promise I can count to 10. But today we're going to talk about packing your shoulders. That's why the title is, do you even pack, parenthesis, your shoulders, parenthesis, bro. So what do I mean by packing your shoulders? Well, I see this a ton in the gym, whether we're doing pressing movements or pulling movements. There's no shoulder motion at all. So what is packing your shoulders? Well, first let's start off with a little brief anatomy lesson. So pull out your notebooks, let's start writing it down, all right? So where do the shoulders belong? The shoulders belong back and down in the socket. That's where they're strongest and most stable and most ready for loading, whether it's body weight or external objects like dumbbells, barbells, what have you. So too often I see a ton, the shoulders are elevated and actually internally rotated. So the exact opposite of what we want. This is due to, oh, my phone's right here. I was looking for my phone. Woo, been a long day apparently. This is due to the tech's neck. Computers, driving, we are constantly in this position. And then if we try to go to lift in this Quasimodo-esque position here, not a very attractive position by the way, this is not good, then that's how we set ourselves up for a lot of joint issues like shoulder, rotator cuff, you know, to use buzzwords out there. It's not the rotator cuff a lot, by the way. Elbow problems, wrist problems, lack of chest and lat development. All of those problems tend to originate, at least from what I've seen, from a lack of understanding on how to move your shoulders. So I'm going to talk about what that looks like in certain movements and also some exercises that you can do to help facilitate this crucial movement in your shoulders. So let's use bench press for example. Today's Monday, International Chest Day for most people. I actually did chest today too, don't tell anyone. It's actually push day. But anyway, so bench press, you unrack the bar. Okay, if we just go straight into it, I'm gonna show you from this view here, hold on. Got this massive desk, I love this desk, but it's big, it's in my way. When we go to push, if our shoulders are forward and we go to push, my chest is hardly gonna get used. It's mainly gonna be the front of the shoulder and the tricep. Yes, the tricep is involved in pressing movements, but it is the secondary muscle, okay? It is not the primary muscle, the prime mover. In the bench press, the prime mover is that chest. And remember, the way the muscles work, it's like a rubber band. You can't put a rubber band around your thumb to go shoot it and will it to shoot. You gotta stretch it to use it. Same thing with muscles. They gotta get stretched in order for them to contract. The problem with this, in the case of the bench press, is if our shoulders are perpetually locked forward, how is that chest ever gonna get stretched in order to contract, okay? So when you're on the bench or with dumbbells, whatever, you unrack the bar, the first thing that you do is not start your bro reps. The first thing you do is set those shoulders in place. So you are literally retracting your shoulder blades and packing your shoulders against the bench. And then the secondary thing that I have my athletes do is bend the bar in half. This is somewhat of a separate conversation, but this really torques your shoulder, elbow, and wrist into a nice stable position, okay? So retracting those shoulder blades, excuse me, and then pressing from that retracted position. Here's kind of step 2, okay? So we retract, sorry, I just had lunch. We retract first, and then we stay retracted. We do not retract, descend, and then round out in the press, because then again our chest shuts off, okay? So we retract, bend the bar in half, and then stay in this position. So think bro chest is the analogy I always use. No offense to you bros out there, all right? And then you're just focusing on the chest. That is how you get the most out of bench press and with the least amount of injury, okay? Same thing in cable lat pull down, and just to use another common exercise. So we talk about how to pack the shoulders in the horizontal plane of motion, but let's not forget about the vertical plane of motion, all right? So we do not initiate the lat pull down by pulling with the arms. Otherwise it would be called a bicep pull down, okay? It is a lat pull down because that's the main muscle we're trying to use. So I'm gonna turn around here. Hopefully you can see this, all right? I guess I'll see it in the playback. We start by bringing those shoulders down and together and then pull. Every single repetition begins with a good stretch and then pack and then pull the elbows in, okay? And that's how we get that lat contraction. I used to hate upper body workouts because I would rarely feel it in my chest. If I did feel it in my chest, it would be like in this little pocket right here, right where the pec inserts into the shoulder. My lat, maybe the top part, but it was mostly my bicep, tricep, shoulder. Remember, you never want to be sore in your joints, so if you are, chances are you have a movement deficiency, okay? So ever since I really started to pursue this, it's really helped a ton with my muscular activation and development, if you couldn't tell, just kidding. So here's the other thing too, that this might be a very real reality for you, because it was for me when I first started pursuing this, and it has been for a lot of my athletes, and that is lightening up the loading, so the weight, and or the repetitions. Because when your body's not used to that challenge, it's gonna hurt a lot more in a good way, okay? But remember, like I always say, your muscles don't know numbers, they just know intensity. So just know, even if you do have to take the little pin out and put it in a plate or two above that you normally do, or strip some plates off, if you're getting more out of your chest, more out of your lats, you win by doing that. And then also just know that not only will you be able to put that weight back on soon enough, you'll actually be leaps and bounds ahead of where you would have been had you not addressed this, okay? So if you want to avoid a shoulder injury and you want to maximize your strength numbers and your muscular development, I'm telling you, learn how to pack your shoulders, all right? So we're gonna go out on the floor, and I'm gonna try to set up the camera and show you just a couple of really quick exercises. So here we go. Okay, so the first one is called the scap push-up. We actually do this in our AF Live sessions too. It's a great way to not only get the stabilizers in the shoulders firing and ready to go, but also again to teach proper shoulder mechanics. So you're on the ground, you can do this on the feet or the knees just like a push-up. It's a little tricky, it's a little weird at first, but it's super helpful in training mechanics. So here we go, I'm gonna set the camera down. Boom, okay, let's see here. All right, right about there. All right, so I'm gonna get into a push-up position, all right? And then all I'm doing is squeezing my shoulder blades together and then pushing up. Squeeze together, push up. Same thing on the knees. Squeeze together, push up. So then when you go into push-ups, again, like I said with the bench press example, you retract first and then press and operate your set from that retracted position. You should feel way stronger and way more chest activation. Let's go to pull-ups and pull-downs. Okay, so we're gonna apply the same principles to the vertical plane of motion using the lat pull-down machine. So again, the point of packing the shoulders, or how we execute it, is we're bringing the shoulder blades down and together, okay? So, we're good? Okay. So instead of initiating with the arms, we get a good stretch, and then we bring the shoulders down and together, and then pull. Again, stretch, down, and contract. I got 30 pounds on here, not that I'm like some physical specimen. I can obviously lat pull down a lot more than that, but I've gotten to the point in this concept where I actually felt a pretty good lat contraction in those 2 reps, even with 30 pounds. So there you go. Thank you, George. My buddy George. Yeah, come on. So guys, it's gonna take some time. It's gonna feel weird. Again, you might have to lighten up the load, the reps, both to get this correctly. But I'm telling you, it will be a game changer for your chest and lat development and lack of shoulder ouchies, to put it plainly. So I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments below if this does help for you, or if you, I'm actually starting this new technique tip kind of segment. So if there's other questions you guys have, you got knee pain, you're not sure how to squat properly, whatever it is, please let me know in the comments, and I would love to do a video for you. So we'll see you in the gym.